Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa West, and as we reach the end of 2012, I wanted to share some of my memories of the year of Namaste Yoga. So we began 2012 with what I thought was going to be a really deep exploration of the ayurvedic doshas, but sometimes the universe has other plans for us, and I started the year with a major health challenge that kind of rocked my world and asked me to really re-explore the way that I was doing everything. And so I was forced to take a step back, and we actually started kind of toddling through January with going back and recycling some really old classes that I had taught before I had even started Namaste Yoga, some really simple classes. And we did some beginner classes, what that allowed me to do is really rethink my teaching philosophy. And I think my teaching really improved because of it. I got really clear on what I wanted to teach and why. I got clear on what was important to me. And one of the most important classes of my teaching career came out of that time. It was episode 120, Breathe, Love, and Let Go. And I think I learned to teach even more from my heart this year because of that. By the end of March and the beginning of April, I recovered enough to be able to start offering series again. And so I returned to my love of Hindu mythology. And perhaps not surprisingly, as I look back with hindsight, we returned to the remover of obstacles and Ganesh. And we did a Ganesh series. It was a beautifully warm spring here in Canada, and we filmed most of those classes outside. And Ganesh taught us about family, honoring parents, discernment, interconnection, cooling, humility, and letting go of ego. This year, I got really clear about how I wanted to teach and who I wanted to teach to. I wanted to make yoga accessible, and I wanted to keep it simple. We have always been about real yoga for real people here at Namaste Yoga. We realized that our beginner classes were being watched more than any other classes that we were offering. And so it was time to offer more beginner classes. So we started a beginner series in May and June. And I went back to the basics again: breathing, grounding, and spinal elongation. Setting intention, tuning into your body, breath, thoughts, emotions, and spirit, and integrating what happened at the end of your practice. The core principles that I had learned through Esther Myers in Phoenix Rising Yoga Therapy. As I continued my own healing of my migraines, I was introduced to Jon Kabat-Zinn's book, Full Catastrophe Living, and I came across a small list of attributes for mindful living. It inspired a series called Keeping It Real Yoga Style, where we integrated those ideals from mindfulness into our own yoga practice. Non-judging, patience, beginner's mind, trust, non-striving, acceptance, and letting go. What a great series that was. And then in September, we returned to my love of Hindu mythology with the Shiva series. Shiva taught us about endings, letting go again. That was a big theme this year, and seeing the divine within. From November until the end of the year, we returned to our mission of keeping things simple and expanding our audience by reaching out to beginners again and starting another beginner series to finish up the year. This time, we focused on one pose at a time, pairing them when it made sense: mountain pose and tree pose, bridge pose and shoulder stand, downward dog, triangle pose, warrior 1, and warrior 3 pose. So what stands out as I reflect back on 2012? I got really clear on what serves me and Namaste Yoga. And it has been where our mission has been all along: real yoga for real people. And that means so much to me. I took a step back and remembered that it is not about delivering more complicated lessons, but it's about making complicated concepts simple for everybody. And so we offered more beginner classes. And when I did teach about some of my favorite subjects that are complicated, I tried to do so in a way that made them accessible and easy to understand and available to a wider audience. So what does this reveal about our community? We are a community of real people doing real yoga. We are not yoga models or contortionists who can bend ourselves into any position imaginable. We're just real people living our lives who, at the end of the day, practice yoga to help ourselves feel better in our minds, in our bodies, in our spirits, in our emotions. So tell me, what do you want over the next 12 months? Tell me what you've enjoyed over the past year. And tell me what content you want to see in 2013. Leave your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. This is your community, and you are the reason why we make these videos. Love you. Namaste.
Finding a great yoga class is becoming more costly and difficult. Now there's a better way to self-improvement in the privacy of your own home. Visit Dr. Melissa West at melissawest.com and start getting free weekly online videos. Real yoga for real people.